two note cards from the same source. Now, there are a few things that I want to point out to you about. I might have to open this up a little bit more. All right, a few things that let's pretend that we've gotten everything that we need from this article. This is a really, really, I can already tell that this is a really good article, right? Part of my issue with it is that it does appear to be sort of heavily anecdotal. What's an anecdote?
A short story.
A story, right? It's story-based instead of sort of empirical data-based. This is empirical data right here. You're 40% more likely to be overweight if your spouse or siblings are obese. Researchers found that when one spouse quits smoking, the other is 60% less likely to keep lighting up. Also, when a friend quits, the odds of their friend continuing to smoke decreases by 36%. This is empirical data. It's number-based. Here's some more empirical data. A study published online in the 2008 British Medical Journal, happiness spreads like a virus. According to the study, which spanned more than 20 years and nearly 5,000 people, not only can you positively impact your friends and even your friends' friends, you can effectively spread happiness to total strangers. Amazingly, the joyful effects can last a whole year. So here, these numbers right here, that's empirical data. Empirical data is great. This is talking about positive peer pressure. So will you guys probably use it for your solution-based?
Bro.
No. All right. So. No, this is false. So here we go here.
Attention cast tax students, please disregard that alarm is a false alarm. Please return to or remain in your classrooms. Once again, that is a false alarm. Please return or remain in your classroom.
All right. So the nice thing with Mel is that it'll give us related resources to articles that they think that we might like. Peer pressure is a better motivator than cash. Maybe we would want to look at that. We're not going to look at that right now. I do want to show you how to use. Come on. How to use the database for more like how we can send articles to ourselves. So right here, I can bookmark this article. I can highlight it and take notes in it. I can look at my search history within this particular database. It's not going to be all of my databases, but within this database, any articles that I've gone to, it would mark there. I also could mark titles and then look at my title list or put things in a folder. One of the other databases, I'm going to X out of this and we're going to go into, let me go into Academic One file. This is a different database. And if I go into Academic One file, let me put in peer pressure, and I want to forward here. I think that I would like to do an advanced search, so I can do my advanced search by pressing up here. I would peer pressure here, and then let's say that I don't want a particular aspect. I don't want positive. So I'm going to say not positive, right? And that will take out all of the articles on positive peer pressure. And then I can do after the year of 2010, because anything from 2011 on is okay. And now I can search for that. And I come up with 170 articles. Effect of age and gender on psychological correlates of peer pressure in adolescence. This one looks good. Transportation technology, peer passenger norms and pressure, experimental effects on simulated driving among teenage males, analyzing peer pressure and self-efficacy expectations among adolescents. Let's just open up this one right here. And this is very, I can tell already that this is different than the other one. This is there's going to be a lot of empirical data here. If we see here, among adolescents who were examined, the data were obtained from 546 high school students using the self-efficacy expectation scale. There's going to be a lot of empirical data. This is not going to be anecdotally based. Notice all of their parenthetical citations. Let's just say that I'm just going to copy this whole paragraph, okay? So I come over here. What am I doing? Tell me specifically.
Control V.
Control V because I've controlled seed. I'm going to look at this and what should go at the top.
A title. Well, what's in the
the topic at hand.
What should the topic be? Do you want me to tell you since I've already kind of looked at it?
Yes.
Peer influence on self-efficacy. Influence on efficacy. All right, whoops. And then what do I do?
Put a 1.
Put a 1?
Put a
2.
Why would I put a 2?
It's a different source.
It is a different source. 2. And then I'm going to go down here and I have to make my source card. And so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go down to the bottom. Notice all of their citations. And here's my citation. And I'm going to copy and paste and then do what? Delete the URL. Okay, delete the comma, and there's my period. Then do what?
A title.
Hanging indent. How do I do a hanging indent?
First enter the last word of the first line.
Press enter at the end of the first line.
And
Then hit tab.
And tab the last one.
Then I tab the next line, and I have my hanging indent. And one more thing.
You need a 2.
I need to label this as source card number 2. How do I get over to the right corner?
Tab.
Tab, 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 and 2. And this is my source number 2. And I'm going to come up to the top, and I'm going to go back over to my article, and I'm going to look at more notes for that I would want from this article. And that's how I'm doing all of my note cards and source cards. If I'm on this database, see this little tools thing right here? If I hit that, I can download the article, I can print the article, I can look at my highlights and my notes, I can save it, or I can email it to myself, or I can look at citation tools. Let's take a look at these citation tools. And this is the first time I'm looking at this, so. Oh, it was easier just to do it the way that we had, I think, right? If you want to export it to something, we could export it to something. I think it was easier just the way that we just did it in class here. So that is how you do that. Okay, so there was a question that was asked about thesis statements. Somebody said, if I wrote a new thesis statement, do I need to get that reapproved by you? Can you guys answer that question?
Yes.
Yes. If you have a weak thesis statement, you will have a weak paper. Okay? So anytime that you change your thesis statement, you want to pop it into my eyesight, have me look at it, and it won't necessarily go in the grade book. Like if you've already gotten an 8 in the grade book, and an 8 means it's acceptable, it's not going to go in, re-go in as an 8 or a new grade, but it just lets you know you have a strong backbone for your research paper. Strong thesis statement equals a strong paper often, but definitely a weak thesis statement equals a weak paper, okay? Does that answer your question? All right, so any other questions regarding note cards and source cards? You are allowed to use the internet for which 2 sources? The internet being the World Wide Web, not the database. 2 places? .gov and .edu. Now, we've deleted your URLs from the database. Would you have to have a URL for a .gov or a .edu?
Yes.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. So the only time that you're not going to need it is when you have a database. Okay? Other questions? Yes, please?
Do you upload this file to another?
I can. Oh, you mean the document itself?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm not going to do that. But I'll put the video that Autumn is recording, and we'll put that on YouTube. And then you could just go backwards and forwards to it. And you can probably go ahead and stop that.